when it comes to just starting out, just writing your first article, finding your first niche to write about, do you think it's better to step into the hot topic, AI, blockchain, whatever it is, and to do that because you know there's a ton of attention there right now? Or do you think it's better to pick something that you're passionate about and do what
Uh,
you like?
yeah, that's a really good question. That's actually the biggest question that we get in the community, like in the course, is that I never know what niche to pick. So I usually recommend people to use their leverage. So that would be, let's say they are in digital marketing and you want to hop into the AI space, and that is the perfect opportunity for you. But like, it just depends on the topics, because when you're writing articles, you also you need to continue finding those like opportunities, topics to write about. So in hindsight, I recommend that you do not just like you pick a passion, but something that also can make you money. So if it is AI, then just go for it. Sometimes you can even start off broad and then go singular into a topic as you start to rank for content. Because a lot of people don't know what they want. I've switched many times on my website. For the first 6 months, I was writing about personal finance, and then that made me a lot of revenue through credit repair programs and softwares. And then I pivoted into the AI space, and I'm really grateful I did. So yeah, you can go broad and then move on to different topics with the website.
So you think it's just talk about anything, once again get all that experience, and then narrow down based off sort of what you're able to keep up and what the response you get. And it's just about
Yeah, if you're a beginner, I think it's good to kind of go broad a little bit, because most beginners don't know what they want. And then they never end up setting up their website. They never end up writing content because they get stuck on the niche part. They don't know what topic to write. So go broad in the beginning if you're a complete beginner. If you're someone that has experience in life, or you know what you already want to talk about, then just dive into that niche and just continue writing topics around there. But for complete beginners, go broad, just write articles, and you'll kind of create your path for yourself.
hello everyone, and welcome to Founders Ascent. I think we have a really interesting discussion prepared for you today. Unfortunately, Gavin is traveling and unable to join us, but I'm here with content creator, SEO expert, and all around side hustler, Eddy, who's been a solopreneur for over 2 years and is kind enough to join us here and share his experiences and all his secrets to success. So I'm very, very excited. Thank you so much for joining us, Eddy.
Yeah, thank you for having me. Yeah, I thought it was really funny how we crossed paths, and that was through social media. So, you reached out, and I was really happy to be on here, and yeah, thankful. So I'm happy to talk about SEO or just business in general, side hustles, and I guess my path to that.
Yeah, same here. I like this is episode 25 for us, big whoop, and so you being an expert in the space, I think you can correct a lot of the constant errors I'm making in content creation. And I think anyone else who's just starting as a content creator, or maybe they've been a content creator for a while, but they haven't seen the results that they wanted, I think this episode is going to be for them. And so before we tap into your expertise on SEO and content creation, maybe let's just start with you and how you became a content creator and entrepreneur. What sort of was that moment where we saw the first sparks of that entrepreneurial spirit?
Yeah, so I'll keep it brief. So my name is Eddie. I live in California, right by Disneyland, and I joined the military right after high school. So I didn't really know what I wanted to do, and I was kind of just, my whole family is from the military as well. So I never went to like I never got an education. I just went straight to the military. And I tried a bunch of different side hustles. So like everyone else, I've tried like SMMA, I've tried drop shipping, I've tried like e-commerce, I've tried, even just doing physical side hustles, working with like my dad at the time. And I ended up falling into like learning about ClickFunnels and all these other like affiliate marketing products and services, and I kind of fell into that. And I failed many times, like many, many times. And then I ended up learning about who now was my mentor, but now someone I work for is his name is Adam Enfroy. He's on YouTube, really big channel, and he talks about affiliate marketing, SEO, and like how to build a personal brand. And I like fell in love with that because he did it in 8 months. So I kind of like, I was like, hey, if he can do it, I can do it. So yeah, so the thing that I do right now is I write content online. I rank for products that are like top 10 best microphone for YouTubers, like just for example, and I rank for these products on Google, and I earn affiliate commissions. And I just been building on my personal brand using my own domain name. So like eddyby.com. And right now it's just been kind of just honestly just been discipline, staying consistent, and writing every single. I literally write almost every single day, and I publish content. And that's kind of where I'm at right now. And that's what sparked it was like the affiliate marketing, trying out different side hustles and learning everything, failing, and then getting to where I am now.
And so how you fell into it was just trying a ton of different things, and then you found your fit. And
Yeah.
do you think that's like the best approach, to just try different things? That's the only approach, I guess? Or do you think maybe there was a better way you could have gone around it and achieved faster success in hindsight?
Yeah, there's definitely could have been a lot better ways to approach this. But I do like the approach that Gary Vee always talks about, where it's like, hey, like you're in your 20s, like buy courses, learn different things, fail forward, and then just kind of like learn from that. So I can't really speak upon like someone that knows exactly what they want and like they go for it. I kind of just stumbled upon something because I wanted to really break free from like my 9 to 5. I didn't know what to do after the military, so I just bought a bunch of different courses, tried things out, and yeah, that's kind of like affiliate marketing and SEO kind of fell into my lap essentially.
I'm in a very similar boat with you on that, just trying different things, seeing what sticks. And so you've now helped both with building your own brand and then learning from other experts. Where do you see like 99% of content creators fail? What's the like most common mistake you think content creators make?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing. I help Adam Manfroy. He's one of the biggest personal brand affiliate guys I know. They run a course for over 2,000 students, and the biggest thing that I see is imposter syndrome. So like a lot of people feel like they're not made to make content online, or they feel like they feel like they're gonna get judged, and many people don't ever end up creating anything, whether it's like a website or it's sales funnels. They just feel like this imposter syndrome that attacks them, and they don't do anything. Then they move on to the next side hustle and then the next thing, and they keep just regurgitating information without actually implementing. So yeah, the biggest thing is kind of just feeling like imposter syndrome, and that you feel like you're alone, because it is pretty lonely like when you're working online.
So it's always that fear of failure that's sort of keeping people
Yeah.
back. But it seems like you overcame that just by doing a ton of different things. Where do you think that comes from? Just the ability to
Yeah.
avoid that fear.
Yeah, I think it was honestly, I was scared too, but the biggest thing that helped me was just doing something every day. So like I still do this exact same thing where I plan out by priorities. So I've been doing this for almost 2.5 years, where I write a list of priorities, and then I write a list of sub priorities, and just random personal things I need to get done through the day. So as long as I get those things done on my list, that's kind of how I've been achieving a success. It's just like literally discipline on my end. Yeah. Like, yeah, I'm the same exact person that just bought a brand new course. I just been continuing what I've been doing for the past 2 years.
We've talked a lot on this channel about keeping habits, staying disciplined, holding yourself accountable. There was one
Yeah.
guy who had 10 bracelets on his wrist, and every day he had to get 10 wins and move it over to the other wrist
Uh,
to keep track of it. And this constant reminder of just consistency and doing it every day, not caring about failures or successes, and just continuing to stay
yeah.
focused.
I love that. That's actually a really cool idea, the bracelets.
That's what I thought as well. It was a fantastic episode. Episode 10, everyone. Check it out after this. But so with that, so consistency is where people fail. Where do you
Mhm.
see sort of asymmetric returns where people can really succeed that a lot of people don't know about it? Maybe.
Uh, so you're talking about like kind of like what the process looks like when trying to succeed, or
Yeah, so maybe there's currently right now in the space, maybe you see that there's a platform that's getting more attention than most, even with lower efforts, or maybe there's some method or process you can use, whether it's leveraging AI or some other tool, where you see asymmetric returns where you get way more out of it than you actually put in. Where do you think that
Yeah,
exists?
I think right now, and honestly, this is how we just started talking, how we kind of are on here today, is threads. Like threads can be a great opportunity for many people. And another stopping point or like syndrome, imposter syndrome that someone might have is like, I don't know how to write. Well, then you can use tools like ChatGPT or other AI writing software that can help you like implement like, I don't know, some kind of like thread outline or like a Twitter thread outline, and you can write from that. So I think the biggest thing right now is always like trying to hop on trends, and not just hop on trends, but like find that emerging opportunity for yourself, stay in there for 6 months, even longer, and you'll see like a huge difference. But I think threads might be like a really good opportunity for a lot of people.
Yeah, I'm really excited for the new threads. What about
Yeah.
it for you is exciting? Where do you see threads going?
For me, I'm even right now, just this morning, I was already engaging with creators that I wouldn't talk to ever, where it's like, hey, like they're, behind a paywall, or they're behind, you have to sign up to their email list and then buy their products. But like right now, like I just reply to one of my favorite creators' post, and then he responds back in that comment section. So there's an opportunity for someone who's like a beginner speaking to like their heroes or whatever it may be, and they can talk to him directly, and that might lead to an opportunity, to go on a podcast, to collaborate, or one of those things, right? So there's a lot of opportunities that I see where you just need to comment and be engaging with threads, Twitter, Facebook, whatever it is. Yeah.
And do you think threads maybe reveals something about the future where all these other platforms are going to try to copy each other and make 6 copies of Instagram, 6 copies of YouTube? And do you think
Yeah.
we're going to have like the Clone Wars here?
I think so, honestly. Yeah, I mean, it kind of happened just recently with like ChatGPT and Google Bard, where
Hmm.
like Google, like Bard was kind of falling into pieces because ChatGPT was like, everybody loved it. So they tried cloning, something similar, but it didn't work out. But I think it's healthy, like competition, because then they start improving their products. Like, oh shoot, Twitter just added this new thing. We need to add it to Threads, or that's kind of like my opinion. But I think it's healthy for everyone, where it's like we're getting more tools, more products, and more features for
Say,
sure.
I completely agree, especially with AI tools. I think the
Uh-huh.
goal is to have a lot of different AIs, not one massive one that can destroy us all. And so,
Yeah.
how do you think marketing and content creation will look as we enter what some people are calling the age of AI? Where do you think that's headed with how we use AI to create content, how we use AI to market?
Yeah, so I think that's actually a really good question, because like if for anyone that like does ever look at my website, I talk a lot about AI and content creation. So I think the biggest thing to do is just always remove like the fluff that AI provides you, and don't publish content that AI just gives you. You need to like edit the content, you need to proofread things, because if not, we're just gonna like get all the same answers and questions in Google, Twitter, and it's gonna be like really boring. You need to add like your personal, like that personal touch to your content, whether it's like an image, changing things, adding humor, whatever it is. But I think it's gonna be bad and good for a lot of creators, uh, especially for beginners who rely too much on AI, for sure.
Yeah, and so when you sit down to create content using AI, what does that process look like? What sort of the steps?
Yeah, so it depends. So if I'm using like AI, like for example, I'm writing an article for a big brand, I will usually get like their brand voice or understand their website, and I will prompt ChatGPT to tell me or give it the information that it needs in order to write the articles that I'm looking for. So like I'll tell like, hey, ChatGPT, make sure you have a really solid podcast intro for me based on the speaker that I'm going to talk to. This is what they do. This is their niche. This is their or niche, and this is like what they sell or promote, and then chat like I kind of prompt it to help me out. So that's kind of like my process, and I use a lot of like outlines, prompting, and kind of just like Grammarly too. So using plagiarism checkers, spelling grammar checkers to make sure that you're not sounding like a robot. So yeah. That's mainly it.
So when I try doing that, I run into character limitations where the
Mm.
articles are too long, too many words. How do you overcome that? Is it summarizing? What do you do?
Yeah, so I go section by section usually, and what I like to do is, well, when it comes to Google and SEO, you need to have like specific keywords in an article without keyword stuffing, because then that just looks really spammy. So what I like to do is like I'll prompt it section by section. So I have like an outline, and it will have like everything. It will have headers, and then in each section, I tell ChatGPT to prioritize 3 keywords, and then go section by section up to 300 or 400 words. And that usually leads me up to about a 2,500 word article that I can edit afterwards, add my personal humor, and work from there.
So you use AI to get the baseline product, prompting it to
Hmm.
include SEO, and then you edit it after to make it more human and more relatable and flow nicer. Okay,
Yeah.
that makes a ton of sense. And so when it comes to that, a lot of content creators, I feel like they're scared not only of being judged and um, fear that they're going to get embarrassed in some way, but I think there's also the imposter syndrome of where this doesn't feel original. I feel like I'm just copying somebody else. How do you feel about like creativity, originality, repetition, variation, all those sort of ideas that come together with this problem?
Yeah. So yeah, it's tough. I usually recommend that creators or beginners, if they're starting a website or just content creation in general, to do it yourself first, because then you start to understand what's good and bad. Because if you're just using AI and you don't know what to edit, then it's gonna feel very discouraging when you're not getting any likes or comments. So I recommend that anyone who wants to use AI tools, I highly advise you to learn how to write content yourself first, and the priority should be copywriting. So you should learn how to understand copywriting, so like sales copywriting frameworks, uh, how to grab people's attention, like hooks, practice your intros. I mean, literally things like that, where you can make someone stop and scroll and then watch your video or read your thread, and that's like the biggest thing. So do it yourself first and then move on to AI tools.
And what do you think is the best way to learn and get practice with that? Is it just with your own blog, or maybe working for someone else?
Yeah, so I mean, if you can work for someone else like in a similar area or niche, that is probably the best way, because you learn and then you also make money while learning. But if not, highly recommend setting up a blog and picking a topic or a niche, or subtopics, and just seriously write, if you can, depending on your schedule, write every day, like a 1,500 to 2,000 word blog post. Write it down, use outlines, and just like start learning. And after 6 months, I promise you that you'll be a way better writer, and you'll learn skills, and you could take courses too. There's a bunch of free courses like on Udemy or YouTube University. That's basically it.
And so, what would you say of all of the things you've learned in your entrepreneurial journey? What do you think hits the number one? What's your top tip to people who are starting out?
Yeah, I think the top tip, actually, I have two, but the top tip is going back to being disciplined. So as long as you're doing something every day for your business, you're gonna see some kind of success. Like, I've never met anyone that hasn't continuously done something for their side hustle or business and hasn't seen some kind of result. So first thing is discipline. The second thing is networking. So I'm just talking about, like, it could be in a community that you're in, like in a Facebook community or a group, and you're just like engaging with someone. You never know what kind of partnership you might like reach. So discipline, and kind of like building a community essentially.
And is there a particular platform that you think is the best for reaching out? More replies or anything?
Yeah, I think it depends on your in the industry that you're in, but for personal brands, I highly recommend right now using Threads, and then kind of going through Instagram DMs. And if not, LinkedIn is like another very powerful, more professional way of like networking. But if you want to grow really fast, I think the majority of people are going to go to Threads, and you can talk to the creators that are on YouTube or anyone that you want to really talk to. So Threads and LinkedIn right now.
Awesome. And so, when judging the success of the content that you're producing, what are the sort of analytics that you focus, like hyper focus on? This is how I know this is working. This is just a vanity metric that's not useful.
Yeah, really good question. So I don't know if you know about Google Analytics, but everyone's really upset because they switched over to a new Analytics 4, and that's how we normally look at our websites, like the data, traffic stats, how many people actually read our articles. So I'm using a new tool called Plausible, which actually is like a Google Analytics alternative. So I track all my data in Plausible. I can see how many clicks I get on my website. So right now I'm getting about 40 to 60,000 per month of traffic. And then I use SEO tools to help me know how many keywords I'm using. When I use AI, it will tell me like this is how much AI is detected in your content. So I try to change that and I update content. So using AI tools and tracking data through Plausible is like right now my little tech stack.
Okay, noted. Plausible is the new best way to track analytics as far as you're concerned. With
Yeah, I love it.
awesome. And for the actual process of your website, did you create that yourself? Was that a WordPress? Was that some template? How do you get
Yeah, so
started? Yeah.
I use WordPress. So I always recommend everyone to do like a minimum viable website, also known as like minimum viable product. You just want to have your website set up. And I used WordPress. Uh, my WordPress theme is an all-in-one theme called Thrive Themes, super drag and drop, so it's super easy to use. And it took me about a week to like set up. But over the years, I've been always constantly upgrading and updating like the website theme and design. So when I first had it, it looked terrible, but it was actually ranking for content. But I continue to learn, and I never changed. So I've always used WordPress, Thrive Themes, and email marketing. I use ConvertKit.
And so you've hit 2,000 people every day, 60,000, 40, 60,000 a month, up to 2,000 a day with this
Yeah.
content creation method. And that's because you've stuck with it for 2 years and built that up. When it comes to just starting out, just writing your first article, finding your first niche to write about, do you think it's better to step into the hot topic, AI, blockchain, whatever it is, and to do that because you know there's a ton of attention there right now? Or do you think it's better to pick something that you're passionate about and do what you like?
Yeah, that's a really good question. That's actually the biggest question that we get in the community, like in the course, is that I never know what niche to pick. So I usually recommend people to use their leverage. So that would be, let's say they are in digital marketing and you want to hop into the AI space, and that is the perfect opportunity for you. But like, it just depends on the topics, because when you're writing articles, you also need to continue finding those like opportunities, topics to write about. So in hindsight, I recommend that you do not just like you pick a passion, but something that also can make you money. So if it is AI, then just go for it. Sometimes you can even start off broad and then go singular into a topic as you start to rank for content. Because a lot of people don't know what they want. I've switched many times on my website. For the first 6 months, I was writing about personal finance, and then that made me a lot of revenue through credit repair programs and softwares. And then I pivoted into the AI space, and I'm really grateful I did. So yeah, you can go broad and then move on to different topics with the website.
So you think it's just talk about anything, once again, get all that experience and then narrow down based off sort of what you're able to keep up and what the response you get. And it's just about
Yeah, if you're a beginner, I think it's good to kind of go broad a little bit, because most beginners don't know what they want. And then they never end up setting up their website. They never end up writing content because they get stuck on the niche part. They don't know what topic to write. So go broad in the beginning if you're a complete beginner. If you're someone that has experience in life or you know what you already want to talk about, then just dive into that niche and just continue writing topics around there. But for complete beginners, go broad, just write articles, and you'll kind of create your path for yourself.
and so when you're going broad and talking about all those different things, do you think there needs to be any sort of connecting thread, or do you think you can be that connecting thread and it's just what you like? And
Yeah. For websites, like for SEO, you do kind of need a connecting thread. What it's also known as topical clusters. So you need to cluster your content. So you can't like, you need to have a content plan in place for sure. For SEO and Google rankings, I think with like, an app like Threads or Twitter or social media platforms like that, you can have a personal brand and be very broad. Um, but for SEO and Google, you do need to have like a specific content plan in place. There's just no way. Google would be very confused about what you want to rank about or what your topic is. But I think for other social media platforms, you can literally post a picture of your dog and yourself and like, hey, writing, and you'll get 1,000 likes, and then you could talk about something else and then pitch a product in that same platform like Threads. But Google is a little different.
yeah, so for Google, you want to have that one sort of central focus for your site, because otherwise it will
Yeah.
hurt rankings. Okay, that
Yeah, like
makes
I'll give you an example. Like
perfect.
for Google, yeah, for example, like so you can have a broad topic. So let's say it's personal finance. That is like the broad topic for your knowledge graph of Google. And then you have your subtopics. So number one subtopic could be debt management. And then the second subtopic could be student loans, like helping people fix, go into student loan debt. The next subtopic could be credit. How do I build my credit? Credit cards. And then that next subtopic would be credit repair. So then you have your 4 subtopics, you have your main topic, and then you create pillars of content around that.
That's exactly what we did with Founders Ascent. I'm glad to
Oh,
hear that we're doing it right. Because I think our 3 list was entrepreneurship, self-improvement, and fitness, and that's sort of the
yeah.
3 categories that we've stuck to with this. And so let's say they've been whoever is listening, they've been convinced that they need to start writing content and they need to start doing it every day, but then they're starting to get discouraged that it's not hitting, it's not seeing the numbers that they thought they would get. It's not, as always, your expectations are way above reality, and you're getting discouraged. What's maybe one way that they can amplify and improve their presence, and maybe what's just one way, like psychologically, to sort of continue staying focused and not give up?
Yeah. Yeah, I think the biggest thing, I mean, I really like that example that you told me about earlier on the other episode 10, where the guy had like the person had the beads.
Yeah.
Like if you can find something for yourself, if writing your task the day before is something that will help you, then do that as long as you complete the task. Like I always go back to being disciplined. And maybe I learned that from the military, or maybe I just kind of learned that as I went along with life. But as long as you're disciplined, that is the best way to succeed. My mentor Adam, he says that there's no such thing as motivation. There's only discipline. So you can motivate yourself, but then the next day, if you're not motivated, you're not going to do anything. So just stay disciplined and write something every day. Whether it's writing content, sending emails, trying to get on a podcast, or whatever it is, just do that every single day, and you'll see success. And yeah.
I think for me, I struggle with over planning. Like
Mm,
I'll overbook my day and have a ton of stuff, and then I'll end up falling short and not hitting some
mm,
categories. But the alternative is I underplan and I'm guaranteed to hit 100%. But maybe
yeah.
shooting for the stars was the better idea, and I would have hit more. How do you balance that? Overplanning, underplanning. What do you think? If you had to do one or the other, overplan or underplan, what do you think is the one you should pick?
Yeah, I think that's a tough question because it depends on the person. Because if
Hmm.
someone is over planning and they don't reach their goals, they feel like they failed the day. Like that's what I think. So I'm kind of leaning more towards under planning. So like again, going based off of like main priorities, then sub priority. So if you can have one priority on your list for the day, you complete that, you feel amazing, and then you have 3 sub tasks that you need to complete for the day. You're kind of like, oh, cool, I already completed what I needed to do for the day, and then I can work on anything else, and I feel great. So I think under planning might be better for most people.
Okay, I'll
Yeah.
try to adjust because for me, I'm just like, oh, I'll have time. I can I
Yeah.
schedule out it by the 15-minute intervals, and it will be just enough because everything. But it never works out perfectly, and so
Yeah.
uh, and so how you personally schedule your day with your routine, is it just that list that you have, or do you have other things that habits that you do automatically?
Yeah, so the list is the first thing that I do because I do that every single night. There's like literally a day that I don't miss the writing it on, on my notes at night. But the next thing is I use Trello. So it's like a project management system. So I use that for like all my content creation stuff. So anything that had to do with like, future YouTube videos, future blog post, social media content, even like ideas. So whenever I have like an idea in my head, or I watch a YouTube video and I find out about like a new AI tool, I have like an ideas Trello board where I just add all my ideas in there. So I use Trello kind of like automatically as well for everything when it comes to content creation. So that's really useful too.
I
Most
think
people use like Notion and stuff, but Trello is like simple to look at for me.
I think I might need that. Uh, and so when it comes to your content creation, you're completely solo on this. You don't tap into freelancers really, or uh,
Yes,
other experts,
I
right?
I yeah, so I sometimes will use,
Hmm.
I mean, I rarely use freelancers. I probably write with like I write about 20 articles a month, and I probably have a freelancer write maybe 3 or 5 of those. And it's like someone I've been working with for over a year and a half, like with one-off projects. So I usually do everything myself, like all my work, all the videos, blog posts, content. I'm just doing it by myself right now.
And how do you determine whether this is something you need to do yourself or you delegate it to someone else?
Yeah, I guess I haven't really come across that point because almost everything I've done is like usually again very very like simple. Like the business model that I'm in is like writing articles, doing stuff on my website like kind of needs adjustment and tweaks, replying back to other content creators and helping people out in the community. So there's not much that I personally needed to outsource. If it takes up too much of my time or I get stressed out, I will like pay for someone to help me with it. But other than that, that's like why I like being a solopreneur, because there's things most businesses this business model is like really simple. It's just really boring for most people. Yeah.
And so most of what you do is just writing the content and then tiny tweaks on the website to make it rank higher. When doing those
Mhm.
tweaks, what are you looking for? How do you know that, oh, this thing is underperforming what it should?
Yeah, that's actually a great question because I actually I audit right now. I'm doing this as of like today and yesterday, where I'm auditing all my articles and checking the rankings and positions in Google. So I use a tool called Surfer SEO, which is like one of the number one auditing tool for blog content. This tells you like, hey, it goes based off of performance scores. So it'll tell you the top 10 competitors on Google. They'll say these competitors all have a score of 80 plus SEO scores, and you have a score of 50. Here's what you need to update. And it'll tell you like, oh, you need to update the title. You need to update. You need to add more images. You need to add in internal links, and you need to add like bold fonts. So I literally just follow that audit. It takes me about 30 minutes, 30 to 45 minutes, depending on the post. And I use that for every single blog post. And it's been really helpful. So I was actually featured in one of their podcasts as well for SEO, which was fun.
Awesome. I'll be sure to link to that so they can check you out there as well. And it seems like you're using a lot of different tools between AI tools, Surfer SEO, Plausible, Trello, all these different tools. How do you know how much it costs, like maybe monthly, for you to access all these tools? Obviously, you don't need all of them when you're just starting out, but
Mhm.
what does that look like financially?
Yeah, so I'll separate it into categories. For the website, to run my entire site, I only spend about oops, sorry about that.
No worries.
Sorry about that. I only spend about $200 a month with a keyword research tools, uh, WordPress. the theme builder, like, and then there's like things that make my site really fast. So they're like caching plugins, image compressors. So overall, I spend about $220 a month. So it's a very like high return on investment if you're making money from your website. And then for AI tools, I mean, I don't know if you've heard of AppSumo, but
Very
I've
familiar.
yeah, I'm like an AppSumo AI junkie. So I buy a ton of different products. But the but the main ones I really use is yeah, like SEO tools, AI tools. In total, I probably spend about $600 a month in AI tools.
Oh wow, triple your
Yeah.
website. That's how much you've invested in AI.
Well, I mean, actually, like in total, I probably
Oh,
spend about
got it.
600 bucks. Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Because I use Jasper AI.
Mm-hmm.
I use like I said, Surfer SEO, which is another AI tool. ChatGPT is $20 a month. So all in all, I think I am spending about $600 a month.
Very cool. And I think that's all the questions I had for you. So we're now going to get to the last part of the show, which is rapid fire questions. There are 6 of them. Just try to answer them fairly quickly. Some of them are pretty deep, but uh, just try to keep it going. These make great shorts.
Yeah.
So, first question: how much sleep do you get?
I get about 6 to 7 hours of sleep usually.
Awesome. What's your favorite book and why?
One of my favorite books actually is right here, Traffic Secrets. So I read that from Russell Brunson and ClickFunnels. It's a
Hmm.
really great book to kind of build your audience.
Awesome. If you had to start your career over again tomorrow with nothing, what's the first thing you would do?
The first thing I would do is offer consulting services because that's the easiest way to getting money and sending an invoice and getting a client. And consulting, you control that.
What's most important to you in life?
Right now, the most important things in my life are my wife, family, and just being healthy.
If you could change anything about the world, what would it be and why?
Hmm. Um, I'm not sure. I don't know if you've heard of Chick-fil-A, but making sure that Chick-fil-A would be open on a Sunday.
Fully support. And last question: how do you want to be remembered?
Hmm. Just as a good husband, family, hopefully father in the future, but just yeah, being a good person and just always kind of uh, showing up for when I need to show up for, essentially.
Perfect. I think that's a great place to end off. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. Uh, this is our 25th episode, so we're celebrating over here that we've done this for half a year, and we're very excited to continue doing this for as long as we can. So be sure to like, subscribe, comment, do all the good things to help us on the algorithms. And we'll be sure to link to everything Eddy is doing in the description and check out all his projects. His expertise is unparalleled, so be sure to check him out. And we'll see you doing our next episode on Tuesday. Don't be late.